She stood in the doorway like she still owned the place. My mother. The scent hit me before her voice did. That same sharp synthetic perfume she wore the night she walked out on us. Behind her, movers carried boxes as if my father's death was nothing more than an opening to move back in. "This house belongs to your sister," she said, her tone clipped and icy. "Pack your things. Get out." I just looked at her, years of silence pressing down on my chest, but my voice stayed even. "You're moving in?" She gave a smug little smirk. "It was never yours." I didn't yell or plead. I just lifted my phone, called one number, and said 2 words. "You'll see." When my father was alive, this house wasn't just a home. It was a fortress. Not because of the walls, but because of him. He filled every corner with calm, with safety. He wasn't perfect, but he never left. When she did, when she traded us for another life, he taught me how to stand on my own. I was 14 the night she drove away. My sister sobbed until her body gave out. I sat on the porch, watching the road, waiting for headlights that never came. From that night on, she was gone. No calls, no visits. Not even when Dad got sick. Not when the bills piled up. Just silence. And now, suddenly, she'd returned. Not as a mother, but as an invader. I could have thrown her out right then, but I learned long ago that anger is noise. I deal in precision, not tantrums. So when she unpacked her things and my sister mumbled, "Mom says it's hers, right?" I stayed quiet. They thought silence meant surrender. But silence is the sound of strategy. The lies were obvious. The official papers she shoved in my face looked fake from the first glance. My sister couldn't even meet my eyes when I asked where they came from. They both assumed I wouldn't fight. They assumed wrong. I had something stronger than forged signatures. I had my father's trust. The plan was already in motion. I didn't need to scream or cheat. I just needed one call to the man who held every truth that mattered. My father's lawyer. Mr. Hale wasn't just an attorney, he was a friend. The man who sat beside my father's hospital bed and promised me that no one would ever twist his wishes. When I whispered, "You'll see," into the phone, he knew exactly what I meant. 20 minutes later, the front door burst open. My mother froze mid-command, a vase hanging from her fingers. My sister dropped the box she was carrying. And there he was, Mr. Hale, gray suit sharp as a blade, eyes cold as steel, folders clutched like loaded weapons. He didn't bother with greetings. He didn't even look at me. He walked straight to the dining table, laid out the will, the deed, every document my father had signed years ago. "This property," he said, voice steady and cutting, "belongs solely and permanently to your son. Any claims to the contrary are fraudulent." My mother's face drained of color. Her lips trembled, but no sound came. My sister whispered, "Mom," but she stayed frozen. I leaned against the wall, arms crossed, and let the silence scorch them. Mr. Hale wasn't done. He listed every consequence: fraud, forgery, eviction, all backed by legal orders ready to sign. The law wasn't just behind me, it stood like a hammer above their heads. My mother's fake confidence crumbled. The woman who had stormed in like a queen now shook like a child caught stealing candy. And my sister, my own blood, stared at me, wide-eyed, realizing she had never really known me at all. I could have destroyed them completely, had them arrested, shamed, dragged out in cuffs, but that wasn't what I wanted. I wanted something sharper. I wanted them to feel powerless, to taste what they'd once made me feel. So I stepped forward, calm and steady, and said the only words I needed. "Get out of my house." No shouting, no threats, just quiet, final truth. They obeyed. Even the movers who had followed her orders now carried her boxes back outside, heads down. My sister slipped away without a word. My mother lingered at the door, searching for a crack in my armor, but there wasn't one. When the door shut behind her, the silence that filled the room wasn't empty. It was peace. It was mine. I stood in the middle of the house, breathing in the stillness. My house, my space, the place they tried to steal from me, just like they'd taken my sense of belonging years ago. But they'd underestimated me. Abandonment doesn't break you, it sharpens you. It teaches you hunger, focus, and the art of surviving without apology. They thought they could erase me. Instead, I erased them. When people ask how I managed to win, I tell them the truth. I didn't scream, I didn't fight, I didn't beg. I made one phone call, and in 20 minutes, their entire illusion fell apart. The lesson's simple. Sometimes power doesn't come from noise or fury. It comes from patience, from knowing exactly when to strike.